My name is Twila Brown. I live in Waco, just north of Waco. We moved here a little over 4 years ago for my husband's job at the time. And I have 3 boys. I had twins, Derek and Dustin, and then my youngest is Devin. Derek is 34 now, Devin's 30, and then my son Dustin, one of the twins, is forever 30. After I lost Dustin and my husband 15 months later, I worked for a little bit longer, and then I've taken some time off, and I haven't gone back to work yet. I just needed some time to figure life out, and there were a lot of things to take care of that you don't realize you have to take care of. So on December 4th, I was driving home. I worked late that night, and when I got home, I walked in the garage, and my husband was coming towards me in the house. I thought I was going to give him a hard time. "Oh, you're coming to meet me? Did you miss me that much?" And he said, "Twila," and he kind of slumped against the wall, and he's like, "I can't." And I thought, immediately my mind's like, what's going on? I thought something actually in his family. I wasn't thinking our children in any way. And I said, "What's happening? What's wrong?" And he said, "It's Dustin." And I was like, "Dustin?" He goes, "He shot himself." And he had just gone through a divorce. It was, he had just been divorced on November 1st. The divorce was final, and he was living with a roommate who he's known since they were children. They used to go to church camp together, and they've known each other for years. So then it was just kind of the evening just was an odd evening. We had my youngest son call the roommate, and he confirmed Dustin was gone, that he had shot himself that afternoon about 4:30, and told us some of the details around that. And I won't go into, as a mother, I asked so many questions why. I felt guilty if I had been a better mother, if I had just done this or this or this through his life. You go through the whole life like, oh my gosh, I should never have yelled at him. I should never have, done any of these things. I should have been there. I should have been more understanding as he was going through some of these issues. And I felt like, going back, I did do everything I could. It's taken a long time to come to that point, but it was kind of that next year is kind of like moving through a fog, and every day it's like it's been a week today. Today's been 11 days. Today it's 12 days. Today it's been 2 weeks, and it's hard. I joined some support groups on Facebook. Some of those I didn't. I ended up leaving because it was just too hard to read people's stories at that time. It's difficult emotionally, and we did start going to a grief support group, the Compassionate Friends. I remember hearing other people's stories made me feel like there was some hope, there was some comfort there. With the loss of a child, it is a very, very different grief. As a mother, a piece of your heart is gone. You truly feel your heart break. And so then it was 15 months after Dustin when we lost Tim. It was sudden. He had gone to the emergency room the night before. He had high blood pressure. His blood pressure was sky high. And the next morning, early, he woke up and he had went into cardiac arrest. Losing him was because I watched it happen, basically. They were able to revive him, but he never regained consciousness. And that started a whole new struggle in our lives. They lost their brother, now they lost their dad. And I'd lost my husband. And the other thing is I had lost the only person in the world who loved Dustin as much as I did, and who missed Dustin as much as I did. And that next year kind of started a whole new traveling a road of grief that was different than with Dustin. I was still grieving Dustin, still missing, still trying to get used to him being gone, and then now Tim is gone. And it's been good to have others. It's been good to surround myself with family and friends. The people at the TCF, the Compassionate Friends group, they were helpful through the first few weeks because they knew Tim as well and they knew our story. I don't know how I've moved forward other than just having supportive family and friends. That's been the big thing. And I have had people call me and even reach out to me after losing Dustin, people who have lost people to suicide. And not that I have any great advice to impart, because I don't think I do, but to know that there are other people who have dealt with it, and to know that there is a tomorrow. Each day there's going to be tomorrow. That helps get me through the day and the weeks and the months, is knowing that we will be together again. You do come out the other end, and it doesn't matter how long it takes. Over time, I can talk about it without just breaking down as well. It kind of is healing. It helps me to heal, to talk about them. My name is Twila Brown, and I want you to know that life is possible and hope is real.